Retirees, do you have enough to live on for the rest of your life? And are you still feeling a certain degree of discomfort and anxiety? You are not alone. And even though you have enough money, that does not solve all of your problems. Now, between you and me, I was a little bit afraid to discuss this topic because you are in an elite group, because most people do not have enough money to retire. But that doesn't mean that you're problem-free. So if you are not in the category that has enough, and we understand this video isn't going to be for you, so look at some of my other videos. But if you are coping with having enough money and still feeling unsettled, then we can work together to try and make you feel more comfortable with the next stage of your life. We're going to talk about overcoming retirement anxiety and why reaching your financial number may not cause you to feel great. And then we'll talk about mental frameworks for retirement transition. And we'll talk about ways that we can help you cope with some of your unhealthy thinking, like, I'm afraid to spend the money I already have. I don't know what to do in retirement. My life feels meaningless, even though I have enough money. And finally, we're going to wrap it up by touching on time management. How do you schedule yourself in retirement? So if these are issues that you're dealing with, buckle up and let's get started. We've all experienced major life transitions, from our first apartment, our first job, our first house, all of those things. But the difference between those transitions and the transition into retirement are that those are all moving forward. They're all exciting. They're glorious. We're growing up. We're becoming an adult. Retirement is the last stage of life. Yeah, I know. So what's at the end of retirement? Death. Okay, not as exciting. Clearly, we all die. We all know we're going to die, but very few of us really want to think about that stage. So, despite having enough money saved, retirees can feel under pressure to be perfect. I don't want to waste the last phase of my life. And how I spend my time is very, very important. I don't want to get it wrong. And that can create additional pressure. Or other worries are, I've been saving my whole life. I've lived very simply. And now my financial advisor is telling me to spend more. That goes against everything I believe in. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, offers some strategies that you can do on your own. And please do not think this is psychological advice, because I am not a psychologist. But I have used some of these techniques on myself to overcome anxieties and fears. And one of my favorite is called Socratic questioning. That's where you list your thoughts and your fears, and then you question them to see if they are actually real or not. So let's just take a simple example. Grab a pen and paper, or, of course, if you're like me, your tablet, and list your retirement worries like, I'm worthless now that I don't have a job or an office to go to. I'll waste the rest of my life, or I'll run out of money, even if you know that's not true. Next, write down next to each worry the challenges to those thoughts to determine if they are realistic or unrealistic. List all of the reasons why those worries might not come to pass. For example, when I'm challenging the I'm worthless now that I'm retired worry, you might write down, I still have people that depend on me. I have friends, I have children, I have parents, I have community members in my life. I'm worthy as a person, just for being born, not for what I do, or not what's on my LinkedIn page, or not what's on my balance sheet. I can continue to make a contribution in the world, even if I'm not going to a 9-to-5 job. I have something to offer. Now that you've addressed your worries and fears, you need to define your retirement purpose. We all need to feel worthy, valued, and significant. And remember that it took us years to adapt to adulthood. It's not going to be quickly, that you will glide along into the retirement sunset. Allow yourself a period of transition and even grieving as you move forward into defining what is going to be your purpose in the next stage. You can dabble in things that interest you, that provide value for you. And what works for you is going to be what matters. I have friends who love to take extravagant trips twice a year. That is not for me. Others have hobbies and pastimes that fulfill their retirement hours. Some people want a goal-driven life in retirement where they run races or compete in gaming tournaments. Others immerse themselves in volunteering. Some people like to study and learn new things. A close relative of mine is a superb cook, and he spends a lot of time cooking and gardening. He's a master gardener. And then on the side, he also does some day trading. He found what is meaningful to him. Harvard has studied 4 generations of people in a longitudinal study of 2,000 participants and uncovered the distinction between adults who have meaning and purpose in their lives and those who don't. And I'll put a link below to the maps of life transitions that can help you work out these transitions and help you delve into what is going to give you purpose in the future. Spend with intention. What does that mean? Think about what you're spending money on, and is it aligned with what's important to you? You might have a financial advisor telling you you need to spend more. If you don't want to spend more, don't spend more. But maybe you've always wanted to create memorable experiences for your family. Take your family, your extended family, on a meaningful vacation. Set up a legacy or a charitable fund. Go into your community. And there are people that tip larger than they typically do in a way to reward those working families that are just striving to make ends meet. So figure out, after you get a sense of what your meaning and your purpose is, how your money is going to work to those ends. Before we wrap it up, we've got to look at our days, because work was great. We had our days mapped out. If anything, we did not have enough time. And now that we're in retirement, we have a lot more time, but that also gives us the challenge that we have to create a plan. Because if you don't create a plan for your time and structure your time, I guarantee it, you are going to start feeling anxious and out of control. Turning your ideas into action ramps up your fulfillment in retirement. Many people find making a daily to-do list creates structure for their lives, so they feel like, yes, my life has purpose, my life has meaning, my life has direction. Maybe a to-do list is too granular for you, and you might prefer to just map out a couple of things that you want to accomplish during a week or a month and use that as your guide. But just going along without a plan is likely to lead to increased anxiety. Think of the categories that you want to fulfill in your life, whether it be exercise, spirituality, community service, friends, volunteering, and make a plan to work those into your life in whatever proportions make sense for you. That'll give you some structure, and it's likely to increase your sense of well-being. So in the end, having enough is a wonderful problem, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be free of stress and anxiety in retirement. So cope with those feelings by using simple strategies like Socratic questioning to analyze your fears and negate them if they are unreasonable. Figure out what are the things that you want to do next and then create a plan to do them. And finally, give yourself some grace. You might feel a little stressed out or a little out of sorts for a while. That's okay. It will pass. And congratulations for reaching your retirement goals. I'm Barbara Friedberg. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and check out some of the other videos on our channel. And I will put a link to an accompanying article that discusses these issues more in depth. See you next time. Bye.